Welcome back to Ravenport on Farming Simulator 19 for episode 15 with me, MrSealyp. I am in the middle of a contract on field 13, taking soybean out and delivering it to the ranch. The weed situation, I don't remember having weeds turned on Ravenport, or it might have been because before the update they weren't having any effect, but they're having a massive effect now. What I realised very quickly was down at my own field here, if I go to... was it soil composition? Yeah, if I turn the weed setting on, where it go? There. I've got weeds in amongst my grass, man. All around my farm. So I have to sort the weeds out. I might even turn them off, they're driving me mad. There were weeds on field 13, which I'm doing the contract on at the moment, but I did say about getting enough money to buy a plot of land. I'm not quite there yet, however, I did say I was looking for a plot of land that had a crop in it we could make a bit of money on. Now this has got weeds in it as well at the moment, which is, like I say, not ideal, but it is what it is. Can't do very much about that, but field 2 at the moment, if I click to that, take weeds off, it is fully fertilised, which is good. If I go across to fruit type, it's got soybean in it. It's ready to harvest. That's not a bad sized field. If I click on this and this, it's 315,000. I've got 203, and I've been to the bank, and the bank's happy to invest in my future. The future of the farm. MrSealyp's farming services. Because we've got this one, we've got the cattle, the dairies up and running, and they're very happy with what I'm doing, that I'm a hard worker and all that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy that. I'm going to get an investment from the bank. We're going to buy it. This is not a field flip, this is an investment in the land. I'm going to harvest the soybean, sell the soybean, we'll repurpose the field, get another crop in it, and we'll get the ball rolling on actually owning some fields now on Ravenport. I'm going to carry on contracting because I want to try and pay off that loan as quickly as possible, so that we own it outright, because I was intending to get up to about 300,000 if I could anyway, which meant we could have bought it outright anyway. So that's kind of the plan. It's just because that's come up now, that's a bit choice, ready to harvest, soybean in it, all the things are right apart from the weeds, which are a bit of, you know, I'm going to lose potentially one of those fertiliser states because I'm going to take was it 20% hit on the weeds, but you know, that's just the way it is. So very quickly, I can pass, haven't I? Of course I have. Borrow. So it's 315. I'm going to do what I've done before. I'm going to go above, because in repurposing, it's going to be seed and fertiliser, and I'm sure, knowing my luck, it's going to need ploughing and lime and God knows what else. Let's go to 348, round 350. We should be right there. Okay, so sorry, back onto that one, back to that one, back to that one, and we'll buy it. That's now ours. Cool. Right, so I'm going to carry on doing the contracting. We've only got 32,000 left in the bank. So this will get done. And we'll get back to that. I'll need to get down to the farm and get the weeds sorted out around the grass area. It would appear the store have fixed their accounting error that they had a while back regarding the return of fertiliser, herbicides and things like that. I know we kind of know that already, you can't sell the pallets back, but I think, and I need to go back to my previous Let's Plays on this, but I'm pretty sure the cost of fertiliser, liquid fertiliser, has gone up. I was doing a couple of fertiliser contracts, and again, is it me? Was it me just feeling persecuted? I don't know. That fertilising contract, and contracting is a legitimate way of making money in the game, and that fertilising contracts seem to be a good way of doing it. You could buy your fertiliser even without that little cheat glitch thing where you could sell the pallets back again at the end and potentially make your money back on your fertiliser. It was a fairly good way of making money. There was a fertilising contract I just looked at. It was about 8,000. I thought, that's not bad, another 8,000 in the bank. You know. To fill up my sprayer would have cost me, I would have had to get 2 full tanks, which would have cost me 6,400 on an 8,000 contract. You're just not going to make enough. Well, you are going to make money, but not much. I can't. I need to check it. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure they were only, what, 2,400? Or was it 2,800 for fertiliser? It's now 3,200 or something. I don't understand why. 3,200. The herbicide's still 2,400. It's like they've gone in and said, oh, people are making money fertilising. Quick, put the price up. Oh. Anyway. So. Continuing. Field number 2, our new field, has been cleared of soybean. I've got 24,000 litres. I'm so amazed with the weeds in there. 24,000 litres of soybean, and there's just under 2,000 still in the harvester, which is over there. What I did realise as well, in buying this plot, we've also bought, which is part of the plot, this lovely secluded little cove here with its own beach. How cool is that? This is ours. Part of our plot. Not that I can. Oh, I could put a sandcastle down there, I guess. How much are sandcastles? This is our plot. Let's put a sandcastle on it. Why not while we're here? So let's go across to the old placeables. Decoration. 200. Yeah, let's do it. Why did that just? Oh, come on. That's the edge of the map. Won't let me do it anywhere there. Oh, it's going to be in the shade. But we can still do one. Hang on a minute. Oh no, I didn't check that, did I? What did that just cost me to place that? 445 to place a $200 sandcastle. But it's ours. It's our sandcastle. That's actually quite cool. And our own little cove. So like I say, this was not a field flip. This was not me doing it, taking the crop, selling it and moving on. This was me buying a plot of land. Oh, I'm stuck now. How do I get back up? There we go. So what I'm going to do now, the best price for soybean at the moment is at the restaurant. So I'm going to head there and sell this. We should do very well out of this. I'm going to see you over there in a minute. Get the beacons on. Probably going to go down through the town, I think. Don't go that way very often. 6 o'clock in the evening, the sun's going to start to set again. I do need to check on the animals. The animals? Well, yeah, they are animals, aren't they? But the cows. I don't think I've come past here since I did the first look raptor. It's brilliant, the brilliant skeleton. It is amazing, isn't it? Wow. So yeah, like I say, I'll see you back there in a little bit. I may leave a little bit of this on as I drive back. We'll see. I ended up going a very peculiar route round. I don't know how I managed to go this way, but anyway, I've got here in the end. That's the main thing. They're both on tip side left, so we should be good. Switch that one and tip that as well. And what's the money roll in? Hopefully not bad. Did we just make 56,000? 56,000. So having bought the fields, yes, we got a loan. Not for the whole thing, for part of it. And then the crop off of it, we just made 56 grand. That's fantastic. Oh, mind you, there's another. I've got another just under 2,000 litres in the harvester as well, haven't I? Okay, so the next job's going to be how do I repurpose that? Not how. I mean, I know how to repurpose it. It doesn't need. I don't think it needs. Let's have a look. Growth. It should say harvested. Fantastic. Soil composition. Doesn't need ploughing. Doesn't need lime at the moment. Weeds I've got turned off. But no, that's all good. So I don't have a seeder. Don't have a seeder, don't have a cultivator, anything like that at all yet. That's good news. And the question is, what do I put back in it again? Do I put soybean in it again? I'm doing sunflower on Fellsborough. Don't really want to do that. Do I just go for it and do cotton? Should I plant cotton? And then it'll mean leasing a cotton harvester, which is not going to be cheap, is it? But if cotton's worth that much, again, I mean, it's a very dodgy ground, isn't it, of what does a cotton harvester cost to lease? It's going to be ridiculous, isn't it? To buy 485,000, how much? To lease 24. So providing I get the whole harvest done in under an hour, that'll be the total cost. And as long as selling that cotton I can make more than 24,000, I've made a profit. I mean, obviously that's how the whole that's how it works, isn't it? Yeah, might do that. Right, before I do anything over on field 2, I'm going to sort out the weed situation. I have a minor issue in that. Before the update, I did a video on weeds and weed control, and that was very early on. The game had only been out for a few days, I think, when I did that. And when the weeds are in their young stage, if you remember my analogy, they're hanging around the chip shop, adolescent, you know. Regardless, if you didn't watch it, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever to you. You could use a weeder, or you could use a sprayer. Either would work. When they get to the adult stage, the larger stage, you can only use the spray. It won't let you use a weeder at that point. Now, somebody messaged me to say that they had on theirs, they had the first growth of weeds, and they tried to use the herbicide, and it didn't kill it. It made no difference at all. Which made me wonder if in the update they've done it so that you have to use a weeder in the first stage, and then the knock-on effect to that is you have to use the herbicide in the second, so it makes both sets of machinery relevant, which is a bit of a worry. I'm not. Also, if you reset machinery now, you don't lose fuel. That's the other thing I was told as well. I haven't tried it yet because I'm terrified of losing a full tank of fuel. But so what I think I might do, and again it doesn't matter because I can earn the money back again doing contracts. It may seem like a waste of money initially, but I was going to go for the fancy new, you know, all singing, all dancing weeder, but it's a lot of money to pay out. I'm just going to go with the standard Einbach Pneumatic Star 900. I used to use the Aerostar Rotation 1200 quite a lot. The Pneumatic Star will also seed. It will do grass, cover crop, and did I say canola? That's an interesting choice. I just need it for its weeding properties, so I'm going to lease one. It's only $918, so it's not going to break the bank, is it? I'm going to take it down. I'm going to try out the herbicide on the weeds. I might have to swap this around actually. I'm going to try and take them both down at the same time. I know that's probably not the best way of doing this, but just go with it because that's got the PTO there. Let's go on the front as well. Probably shouldn't do, but it will do. Obviously, this driving like this is fine. If this was in real life, that's your view. Probably not the safest way from getting to A to B. Getting to A to B from A to B. Right, let's go and check this out first. And this is kind of a, I suppose, it's a test in itself because I don't know. You know, people do message me. I get loads of messages saying people have tried this, tried that. You know, I do get the feeling people seem to think I'm a help desk, some kind of IT help desk as well. I seem to get loads of messages on Facebook and everywhere, basically. Not weird things. I totally understand it, and if people think I'm an approachable kind of person, and I might be able to help them out, that's wonderful. I do, but you got to stop and think. If it's an IT related issue, you might be better off going to Giants or to. I'm not necessarily going to be able to help you out. I play the game. I'm not a coder. I don't do anything like that. I'm just literally. I just play it. So let's drop that down. Back that up. Drop that down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try it first with the sprayer. Now I think I've turned weeds off now because I don't know. I'm still not finding that they seem to be working properly. I know people say they're working perfectly fine on my map, and they're doing exactly what they should be. I don't know. I think people are still experiencing glitches and issues and blue screening and all sorts of stuff, and like I said before, just I'm hoping Giants are working on a fix. They should be continually updating and changing things. So you can see these lighter green weeds in amongst all here. Look there, you should probably see it better right on the edge. There you go. There's one there, one there. Depends where the light's shining. You can see them a little bit better in different places. Now if you look at the field info screen at bottom right, it doesn't say anything about weeds because I've got weeds turned off. So at the moment the computer's saying no, not recognising anything, there's no weeds there. My concern is if I try to spray now, because that's turned off, it's saying well there aren't weeds there, so there's nothing to kill. So what I'm going to do is go into this menu here, and I'm going to turn weeds back on just so I can get rid of them, if that makes any sense. And again, this might be irrelevant. It could be if once you've turned them off, they have no impact anymore. It really doesn't matter, but I really don't know for certain. It's kind of a test and all sorts. So let's turn the sprayer on with herbicide in. Go over those weeds very, very quickly, like so. And I think you've probably already seen, absolutely nothing's happened. They're still there. So the herbicide, and again, I don't know, it could be because I've just turned them off and on, and you know, there could be a whole host of reasons why. And I think one of the biggest problems we're finding, like I said about doing testing before, you change one parameter, one variable when you do a test. There are so many variables in this game that it's hard to know now what should be doing something, what shouldn't be. You turn one thing off, put something on. Should it make a difference? Has it made a difference? Is it a glitch? Is it not a glitch? Is it supposed to? Is it not? You know, and that's the problem. There are so many variables that we're trying to account for. It really is getting harder to know what should do something and what shouldn't do something. So I really don't know anymore. A lot of the time it's going to be just if it works, it works. If it doesn't, just go with it, you know. And vice versa. So what we'll do is we'll try the weeder. If the weeder doesn't get rid of them, then I don't know what the problem is. I'm hoping it is that situation. They've changed it now, so you have to weed on the younglings. Aha! Oh, that's about too soon. It was just a cloud of dust. No, what is happening? I don't understand it. So weeds are still saying 100%. I've tried herbicide and I'm weeding. So explain to me, how would you get rid of the weeds then? That weed 100%. Yeah, I can see that. So why are they not going? This should be working now. Should be plucking them out as I go. And that's having absolutely zero effect. Okay, so I don't know them. That's I would say it's one for the comments. The problem with that is I'll have just as many people telling me, well, everyone will tell me something different to try and do, and I just don't get it. I really don't understand why it's doing this. Anyway, not to worry. Next job then, let's go over to field 2. I need to get that seeded. Not seeded, planted, because we're doing cotton. It will need to be planted. So let's take this weeder back. That no, let's go. It would help if I was actually on the right. The correct side of the sprayer would help, wouldn't it? If I was going to pick it up. Trying to attach 3-point linkage to the wrong side. I would be awesome on a real farm. Could you imagine? Did you attach it to 3-point linkage, MrSealyp? No, but I used gaffer tape and some cable ties, and it seems to be working incredibly well. I wouldn't last a day. That said, if anyone wants to let me come to their farm and try it out, I'll be more than happy to. Right. Let's go and get this planter. Get some cotton in the ground overnight. That can be growing, and I can be getting on with some more contracts, and we can be making some more money. This could be the turning point, the start of something new. 2019. Hit 24,000 subscribers. New Year's Eve. Who'd have believed it, eh? Craziness. Thank you all again, I have to say, for the, you know, that's what, another 1,000 subscribers in a week? Crazy. If you're one of the new ones, welcome. Welcome to the insanity. If you haven't watched many of my videos, this is pretty much how it goes. Me just bouncing my way from one disaster to another. Intermixed with some mild disappointment along the way. That's kind of how it works. And me chatting a lot. So, you know, enjoy. I realised what's wrong with that the other day as well. It's really frustrating. Why is that not disconnecting? There we go, because I just didn't disconnect it. There's a huge bump here, and I couldn't figure out why Giants hadn't made this a more sort of a sloped kind of. That's a big old bump. And then it dawned on me when I drove over it the other day. I thought, hang on a minute, I appear to be floating. The meshes, the textures, the mapping is out. If you look at the wheels, when I go up here, it goes up, and it's actually not on the floor. There's an invisible. Oh, it's difficult to see from this angle. There's an invisible layer which is causing it to go up higher than it should do. That's why there seems to be this massive bump up here. It goes right up. At the moment, I'm now off the ground. I'm hovering. Look. How weird. Oh dear. I'm not going to say anything. Don't want to be struck by lightning or, you know. So, let's return that. It's been returned. That was a waste of $918, but never mind. Now we need a planter. Let's plant. Oh no, hang on. No, I don't need a planter. I need a cultivator. Right, so here's the thing. Let's get into the menu. I need a planter, not a seeder. I'm doing cotton, which is the little bubbly cloud one on the end. And I'm probably going to go with... Again, I'm not too bothered about cost. You know, I'm not going to go massive because it's only in field 2. It's not a huge field. So I think the Tempo V8 will work, 6 metre. But you also need the front tank as well because the actual planter itself only holds 696 litres. So if I get a combination of those two, but bottom left hand corner it says with a seeder planter you can sow fields. There's nothing about direct drilling there. If we go, I don't think any of these do they? No, the planters you've got to have a seed bed. So I'm going to cultivate that field first. So cultivators, we're back to the same old problem. I've only got 175 horsepower, so what's the biggest I can go to? Oh man, is that it? They jump up so quickly. Okay, well, that's cultivators. What about a power harrow? They're only 3 metres, aren't they? 4 metre. Well, I suppose I could do a 4 metre power harrow, couldn't I? That might take a little bit longer though. What else we got? Don't really want a subsoiler, that's a bit much, isn't it? Yeah, don't want a subsoil. Disc harrows? What have we got under disc harrows? That still baffles me. That TT, the big TT, is a 3.4 metre disc harrow. It requires 320 horsepower. That's 100 horsepower, that's 140 horsepower. Well, that's a 5 metre though. The aggro mash, that's 180. I'm going to go with that, the aggro mash, I think. What's that to lease? 1,200. Yeah, let's go with that. I've used that before. So the aggro mash BTC 50H, it's a 5 metre. I think that's the thing I've got to keep reminding myself as well, because the categories are all different now. You automatically, your mind says cultivating, and it all used to be under cultivators before. But you've got disc harrows, cultivators, and power harrows now, and they're all separate sections. So if you don't find what you're looking for, I'll get exactly the same result. And I know in real life they all do slightly different things. They will all prepare seed beds. They're all just various different ways of doing it. So that's just kind of made more sense to that. So let's crack on with this, shall we? This is new to game, don't remember having this before. Pretty sure this wasn't even a mod on 17. If it was, I would have used it, I'm sure I would have done. Cool looking bit of kit. Let's see what it's like in the field, shall we? The beacon's on. It's quite a long bit of kit. Fantastic. So what we'll do, I've done this driver to field 2 a few times, so I'll see you over at field 2. we'll get it cultivated, and then we'll lease the plant up and we'll get some cotton in. The cotton is a means to an end. I know I've done a couple of episodes doing contracts where I've done the cotton harvest, but that's been for other people. I will do a contract of something. Something will pop up and it'll be fertilising or something for about 20 grand, 25 grand, or, you know, I'll do one of those, and that'll be to cover the leasing cost of the cotton harvester when we get to the harvest point, because I'm incredibly curious to see how much money we can make on it. It's not a huge field, so I'm not going to make tons of money on it, but I'm just, you know, I'm curious. I have been asked, somebody asked me, actually, there's me, I'm doing what I usually do. I'll see you over the field in a minute, I'm going to talk all over there, aren't I? Someone said to me, could you do a test on one field? Like I've been doing quite a lot, field 19 on Felsborough, seems to be my test plot at the moment. Could you do a test where you test out every single crop, one at a time, on the same size field, sell each crop at the end of it, to see which one makes you the most money? Well, I could do, yes. That would take a ridiculous amount of time to do all of the different crops. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you want to test something, by all means, you can test it. You can test it yourself. Have a go. Let me know what you find out. Let me know your findings. Yeah, I mean, of course I could do a test on it. Yeah, it would take a huge amount of time. The problem is that's now in my head, and I'm thinking, well, I suppose I could do. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to. Let's just put it that way. So what I'm going to do is, as I start cultivating this, I will take the harvester back. Let's open this out. Let's have a look at this, because I haven't used this before. Cool. Let's cultivate. It's doing exactly what it should be. And at 10 miles an hour, that's pretty good actually, not a bad speed. It's deceptive actually. Field 2's a bigger field than it seems. You look at the map and think, oh, it's not that big. It's not bad size. So what I'm thinking I might do, I might jump out and leave the worker to carry on. That's not Grand Rash, it's quite cool, isn't it? And I'll take the harvester back, and then I'll let this finish, and what I'll probably do is if we get towards, I'm trying to think, time-wise, I want to start getting this planted in this episode as well. And at the end of the day, cultivating, I could just, for the next 10 minutes, we could just go up and down watching this cultivator, but I want to get onto the planting, so very cool piece of kit. I'm liking this. I'll see you in a little bit. Once the cultivating's done, I'm going to take the harvester back and, well, back to the farm actually, all the way back to the farm, and then we'll get that cotton planter, we'll get a bit of seed in it, and we'll get that over here, and we'll get the cotton planted. And then, like I say, while that's growing overnight, I'm going to do a few more contracts to get the money up even further. So then hopefully by the morning we'll have a crop that's, it won't be ready to be harvested, but it'll be on the way, and we should have a bit more money in the bank. Give us a few more options, maybe get a larger tractor, because that will give us more options for what bits of machinery we can lease, so we might be able to start getting a little bit larger with the things we're using. But I don't know, I don't want to go too big too quickly, but we do need to expand the farm, so a bit of money invested in the cows as well, I think. Right, okay. So, see you in a little while. I have made a decision. I'm going to sell the Mahindra. I bought the harvester back over. The money's gone up a little bit because there was still 1,800 and something litres in there. So I've made 4,000. I can't remember what it was now. 4,000 and something we just made on selling that. The harvester's back over at the farm. I love this. It's such a cool little bit of kit, but I'm just not using it. And it was one of those kind of, when the game first came out, and I came to over here, I thought, right, I need a vehicle to get around in, and I bought it, and I just haven't used it. Episode after episode after episode, it just sits there. So, if at a later date I suddenly think, you know what, I want something to whiz around the farm on, I may well come back and get one. But at the moment, it's just sitting there, and it's a wasted resource. So, I'm thinking, value 15,135. I'm going to sell it. Yes. Okay. I think it only cost me 17,000, so I haven't lost a huge amount on it. I've lost more making mistakes leasing machinery, to be honest with you, so that's not too bad. So the money's jumped a little bit. I'm just not using it. So, the field is still cultivating with a worker. I'll see you back in a little bit. I just thought I'd show you that, otherwise you're going to say anything. Well, hang on a minute, its money's jumped up again. What's going on? I have sold the Mahindra. I am at the moment multitasking. I know, shock horror. I've taken on a contract on field 7 to do the harvest of corn. I'm in the Lizard Warrior. It sounds brilliant. The trucks, the semis on this are fantastic now. And on the back I've got the Load King distinction. I haven't paid much attention to this because everyone was all about the Wilson pace setter and all the, you know, the cool stuff. This is a fantastic trailer. Double trap on the bottom. It's really cool. I like it. I like the addition of these, the American trailers. They're fantastic. I've said that a few times. But anyway, so I've got a worker working on field 2, a worker harvesting here. I know that's costing me money at the moment, but I wanted to bring the truck over, ready for unloading. Look at the way the sun's glinting off the metal on that. That is just wow, brilliant. Let's get them close now. Awesome. The detailing on these is phenomenal. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is, this will be harvesting. I'm going to leave a worker on this. Once the worker's finished on field 2, I'm going to go and get my tractor, go back, we'll get the planter, and we'll get the cotton planted, and I'll bounce back between the two, because even if it takes $1,000 for the worker to harvest this while I'm doing other stuff, I think this one's a $20,000 contract. Oh no, it's 13, wasn't it? And I think the machinery was costing me 1,000 and something. So there was one further down that was, there we go, field 8, 28,000. That's going to take a while, but I'm going to start picking off some of those contracts, like I say, off screen. The problem is there's a load of baling ones come up, but they're all the grass fields, all the ones where you can do your hay and stuff. So I'm probably not going to touch those. There's a cultivating one there for $195. I wonder how long that's going to take. Field 24, I suppose it is one of the small fields. And then field 25, I could pick up both of those, cultivate them. It's a tiny little bit of money, but it all goes towards paying worker fees and that kind of stuff, I suppose. If you hire workers, those little contracts don't seem like very much, but that will pay those little bills you've got. I might pick up that ploughing one as well. It takes a long time, but there's no extra aggro involved in that. That'll be a nice, what, 13 grand, just over 13 grand, just for my time. I won't have to buy fertiliser or anything like that. I can just crack on with that. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. While I'm standing here talking, both workers are probably costing me money. So anyway. Right. Cultivating is done. Back at the store, 7:15. I've got the Vaderstad Tempo V8. It's the V8, wasn't it? It was the V8, I'm sure it was. Yeah, Tempo V8 and the FH2200 front tank. These two should go together to give the pipe work, the legendary pipe work from all the videos we saw starting off. that everyone's excited about. And another problem is certain combinations of machinery you put together, you don't get those connections. With this, we should do. I've also got 2 seed bags. There we go. I'm going to start off with 2,000 litres. We'll go from there. Whoa, what happened there? Fingers crossed that'll be enough. I'll leave the seeder open for the time being, because obviously to load it up I'm going to need actually I'm going to put the front tank on at the same time. You can see those pipes attached. Whoa, no traction on the front end. That's better. There we go. So we're all hooked up. Cool. Very cool. I'm still seriously considering getting the fertiliser spreader as well, you know, just to give me more options for my contract work. And just generally I think it's probably not a bad idea. Right, that's that. So I can fold that up now. And come back around to the front. That front should open, there we go. Let's put what's left in there in. And go to that one. Like I say, it might take more than 2,000 litres, we'll see when we get over there, but hopefully it will be alright. We'll see. Once I can get the planting underway, what I set out in my head to get done will have been done. It's all good. I'm thinking if I do that contract on field 8, which is going to, like I say, it's going to take a while, the harvest contract in there, that's 25 or 28 grand. That will be the leasing cost for a cotton harvester. That will cover that. So that one contract, whilst it's going to take me a little while to do, that's it then. That covers the cost of the cotton harvester. Providing I can harvest field 2 and in under an hour, there'll be no additional cost on that. So, you know, I think the problem I was having was leading up to Christmas, and in the first month of the game being out, it was finding the time, the hours I needed, because the contracting works perfectly, and just like it did on 17, I used to do quite a lot to pay for things like worker fees, and I always used to say that I'll just do a contract. Admittedly, you got the bonuses and those kind of things, and that made them a little bit more lucrative. However, the concept is still the same. You just say to yourself, I'm not doing this contract to make me money, I'm doing this contract to pay a leasing fee, I'm doing this contract to pay my worker fees, I'm doing this contract to buy fertiliser. I suppose it's the same thing in the long run, but that's just kind of how my mind works, you know. It compartmentalises everything into little sections, and you kind of in your head think, what's the best way of doing this? I don't know why initially I kept going right to that first junction, all the way up to the crossing up there. Whoa, when I can come to this one here. Right, let's get this open. Let's get some cotton in the ground. Oh, hang on. Let's change it to cotton rather than leave it on corn. There we go, we're on cotton. Nice. We're planting cotton. Exciting time. Oh, look at that. I love the fact the tractors start following the undulations in the ground. There's that word again. The bouncing, that the seat bouncing, it's fantastic. Yet that planter is just staying planted, for want of a better word. Awesome. Well, we are planting, we're getting in the ground finally, the cotton is going in, and with that we have come to the end of this episode. I wanted to get this bit done. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.